So we come to what I think is probably one of the most exciting areas for the future, and that's live streaming. But why live streaming? Well, quite simply, everything changes post COVID-19. Who knows when things are going to be back to normal again, but certainly business will not be the same. And if you've had a look at what's been happening while we've been socially isolating, if you have a look at what we've been through while we've been through lockdown, you'll find that a lot of business has moved online. It's right in front of your eyes, and sometimes you can't see it because it is so much there. Much business and other commercial life will move online afterwards, and it's depending upon what kind of business you have. But I've been looking at all kinds of businesses that could move online or do substantial amounts of business online, whether it's personal trainers, gym owners, weight loss coaches, nutritionists, first aid trainers, tutors, school administrators, guitar teachers, musicians, churches, youth groups, student advisors, business coaches, whatever, travel agents, wedding planners, whatever. Much can move online. And the wonderful thing about it is it's a dynamic way to reach people while they are isolating. And don't think that once these social distancing has been lifted a little bit, that it'll all get back to normal. It's going to be 18 months to 2 years before we see normality. A lot of people are still going to be socially isolating, whether they're our older population or people that are just very, very cautious. The wonderful thing about it is that it could be a revenue earner for you in its own right, let alone to encourage people into your businesses as a way. There are some basic principles I want to talk about if you are considering doing live streams. Firstly, you need to show up on a consistent basis. It's no use just doing things 1 week and then not doing anything for another 5 weeks or leaving months in between it. It doesn't work. You've got to be there. I would suggest once per week, one stream per week, one core point in that stream. Ask yourself the question, what's the big idea you want to present? And then think about 5 subpoints or bullet points under the core point. And then at the end, one call to action. You want them to do something there. Set yourself some goals, and there's some very important goals. We need to build our audience. You need to get closer to your people. They've been out of the business loop for some time. They just haven't been around, and now you need to get closer to them. You want to actually have some very short hills to climb in order to get more. What I mean by this is that if you're going to have a call to action, don't have a call to action that's going to be a £5,000 offer. It doesn't work. You've got to start very, very small. You're starting all over again. It's like virgin territory. You've got to provide them with something very small in order for them to climb that, trust you, and to get a little bit more, and to get some sales as soon as possible, even if those are very, very small sales, some £20 or £30 sales, but get them even if they're small. Now you've got to plan. If you don't plan, then you will fail. No doubt about that at all. Never do a live stream without a plan. Write it down, type it up, put it in a spreadsheet or whatever. Ask yourself, what's the big idea? Every stream should have a big idea. Have your list of 5 bullet points under your big idea. They only need to be a couple of minutes each. And if you don't have your bullet points, you will be disjointed. Let me give you an example, a planning example I set out for health and fitness gyms. Let's take a look at week 1. Big idea? What are the best exercises to do at home? Bullet points. What can I do at home to lose weight? What pros and cons are there from working out at home versus a gym? What are the best exercises to do in a limited time? Do multiple shorter workouts have the same effect? What kind of basic equipment do I need to work out at home? So you've got the big idea, best exercises to do at home, and you've got 5 sub-points there. And now the takeaway, the call to action. Would you like to subscribe to some home sessions, some video sessions, or a live workshop, or membership back at the gym again? Week 1, plan out 10 weeks worth. How about week 2? Big idea, why it's important to have a healthy diet with your exercise routine. Bullet points, sub-ideas, what foods are best or worst when on a workout regimen? How long before and after a workout should I eat? How much water should I consume? How do I develop the best diet exercise plan to fit my needs or goals? What are the best ways to let myself have a cheap meal? Everyone needs a bit of chocolate, of course, but there's your 5 bullet points there under the big idea, why it's important to have a healthy diet. And your takeaway, your call to action could be the same. Would you like to log in, come back to the gym under a special offer? Would you like to have online sessions? So there's 2 examples there of health and fitness there. As I say, plan out 10 weeks in advance and you're good to go. Now, I've worked through some plans for estate agents, chiropractors, dentists, garages, health and fitness, gyms that is, opticians, vets, restaurants, massage therapists and spas, and we can do anything. So if you want to work with me to work out your plans, then get in touch. Now, let's move on to equipment. What kind of equipment do you need? Well, first of all, you're going to need some kind of camera, and that could be anything. It could be your iPhone, which has got a very good lens on it, or moving up a little bit to a camcorder. Those are fairly inexpensive and you can get some good results from them. Or if you want to go the full hog, you could have a discrete live stream unit. I'm working on a permanent live stream installation for our church at the moment, and that has some fairly sophisticated live stream units, but you don't need them. But you do need a camera of some description. You need a good microphone. In fact, sometimes there are people who would say that good audio is better than the good camera. People will sit still for a bit of shaky camera work, but if the audio is rubbish, then they won't sit still for that. So you need a good microphone. Couple of examples. This is the Sabine Tech Smart Mic. It's very, very small. It's battery driven. It's a Bluetooth unit. You clip it on, as you see, to your shirt, whatever, and that connects straight to your iPhone, and it produces some absolutely first-class results. Those are about £120 each. If you're doing things through your desktop or your laptop, a good mic would be the Blue Yeti. It's absolutely a first-class microphone. You can spend thousands on microphone, but you don't need to. This one is about £130. Well worthwhile. It's a lovely mic. What other hardware you need? You need a computer of some description. Unless you're using the phone itself for very simple live streams, you will need some kind of computer. A laptop will do it, but I would suggest if you're doing any permanent work, a PC, an i7 6-core. You need a fairly top of the range one. You don't need a gaming computer. You don't need huge graphic cards. A PC, an i7, plenty of RAM, 16 gig, whack it through. Memory is not expensive at all. So, but you do need a decent computer. That's the hardware. On the software side, you've got two choices really. Ecamm for Mac only, or StreamYard Online for PC. Actually, the StreamYard you could use both PC and Mac. It's an online service, so you don't actually need any software residing on your computer. And there are free services and there are paid for services. Their paid for subscription gives you more facilities. For example, you can stream to more than one source at a time. So if you wanted to stream, for example, to LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook, you would need to pay for a subscription, about between £20 and £40 a month. But you don't have to go that route. But that's a nice and simple operation. Here's an example of the StreamYard website. It's very, very easy, and if you are going to come to our masterminds, you'll see how those work in practice. The other piece of software that I use as well in my own systems is something, oh no, I've duplicated that, is OBS Studio. This is actually software that resides on your computer. It runs on Windows and Mac and Linux, so depending upon what you've got, it's a full-blown studio. It's not as simple as StreamYard. It does need a bit of configuring, to say the least. But I'm a techie, so I like that kind of stuff. But StreamYard would be the first choice. But if you're going to sit down and do serious streaming on a semi-permanent basis, then you might like to get to grips with OBS. Okay, let me finish off. What can we do? Certainly, we can plan 10 weeks of programs with you. What I mean by that is that we will have a conference with you, an online conference, and we'll agree all of the themes and the bullet points, and we'll work that through for a 10-week program. We will then come to you on your premises with all the equipment and lighting, etc., and shoot on your premises there. We will then edit that, put that all together, and we will stream it on your behalf every week. And in addition, we will add Facebook and YouTube advertising to the mix to increase your views. That's a whole package. And if you're interested in that package for us to come to you, then drop a line to emergentmarketinguk@gmail.com or press the button below. Well, I do hope that you've found this 10-day workshop useful. It's had a lot of information in there, and there's a lot of ground you could cover there. Take a look at that mind map again that shows the whole shooting match and things you could be doing. But what happens if you actually want someone to hold your hand? I want to invite you to be a member of our mastermind group. Now, the mastermind group is a 90-day session, once per week, and it will include all of that original chart. We'll go all the way around that, looking in depth at the various areas, whether it's list building or live streaming or advertising or whatever. We will go through that in detail in a small group. It's going to be limited to 10 seats. We're not going to have hundreds on board. It's going to be 10 seats. It's going to be a mastermind group, a Zoom session, where I can share screens, show you how things are done as we go along. And that will be recorded. You'll get recordings of that. But it is limited to 10 seats, so I can provide a level of personal attention to you all. we're going to show you precisely how to run these yourself. So as you've seen, for example, in today's live stream, we will go into far greater detail. We will run one, and so you can see how to do those yourself. The costs are going to be £495 per month. Now, I'm right up front about this so that you're not getting pulled along and then with a surprise of how much. It is £495 per month for 3 months there. If you're interested, and I'd love to have you on board, click the button below. I will be asking you for some details. I want to make sure we're a good match for each other. I don't want to lead you astray here. But if we are a match for each other and we can help, then I'll welcome you on board this mastermind and we'll run from there. So thank you very much for being part of this workshop, and I look forward to seeing you in the future.